So, what does it mean to love God with all of your heart and all of your mind? So, this is the second video that I want to share with you guys about the scripture where Jesus gives us the greatest commandment. To love, you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. So, I already made one video on loving God with all of your soul and all of your strength. And this video, I want to share with you what about loving God with all of your mind and all of your heart? What does that look like? What does that mean in a practical way in our lives? So, in seventh and eighth grade, I went to church, but I basically was going through the motions. Went because that's what we did as a family every week. Went to church. And, unless I was terribly sick in bed with the flu or there was a blizzard outside, we were not missing church on Sunday. That was my family growing up. And so I went basically because that's what my family did every week. That's what we did. That's what you did. On Sunday, you would go to church. So I knew all the typical Bible stories and Jesus' miracles, like walking on water, curing the blindness, multiplying bread, etc. Multiplying the 2 loaves and the fish, or the fish and the loaves. So, I knew those stories, and in 7th and 8th grade, I hit this point in my faith where I thought, okay, either A, there can't be anything possibly more that I need to learn. There's nothing more. Or B, I thought it really didn't apply to my life. So, I was kind of bored with church and kind of just going through the motions. And I would describe myself in 7th and 8th grade as also more focused on my friends and what was going on with that. And especially in 8th grade, just caught up in a lot of friend and boy drama, more concerned with trying to get the attention of the opposite sex in my class, especially the really cute athletic guys, and all of that stuff, trying to dress to please them or get attention from them rather than my faith. I really just did not care about it anymore. My mind and heart were so distracted by the things around me, and I was focused on what our culture says is important, mainly being the best in my class, top of my class, getting the best grades that I could possibly get, and being attractive and pretty and, all of those things to get the attention from the cute guys in my class. So I'd impress my parents by my grades and impress the guys and also the popular girls in my class by my looks and how I looked. Looking back, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and maybe you do too. My heart and mind were spinning out of control, just trying to keep up with everything. My freshman year of high school, I had a retreat that I had to go on, was required to go on in order to make my confirmation at my church at the time. And I had mixed feelings about going on this retreat because everyone that was also going on this retreat was a year younger than me. They made their confirmation in 8th grade, and I was a freshman in high school. So I didn't really know them as well as the people in my own grade. And while I felt my faith was important enough, I felt God was kind of distant from my day-to-day life. So why would he care? Why did it matter if I went on this retreat? I just didn't see a point to it. I just thought, okay, whatever, it's a retreat. I guess I have to go on it. But during the retreat, we had a moment of quiet, sitting in the dark, and there was 1 or 2 candles, just a few candles. It was so pitch black dark in this room that we were in, and we were singing one line over and over again. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. And we just kept singing that over and over and over again. And at first I thought, this is dumb. It's dark in here. What are we doing? But as we continued singing it, there's something really sacred about that moment. I felt God's presence, that he saw me and he saw my heart, and that he saw all my unspoken prayers and that he was right there with me. It was as if Jesus was standing in that room, and he was standing in the middle of the storm going on in my heart, and all those thoughts racing in my mind about boys, about grades, about being good enough, being pretty enough, being beautiful enough. And Jesus was just standing there in the midst of this storm going on in my mind and my heart. And he was saying, be still, and know that I am God. And he was just calming those waves in my heart right down. Be still and know that I'm here. From that point on, not everything in my life was perfect. I still struggle with drama with friends and boys and feeling like I wasn't enough. But I knew in my mind and heart that God was there, walking day in and day out with me, and that he was the best friend I could turn to with everything. All the thoughts in my mind, all the desires in my heart, and that he wasn't going anywhere, and that he loved me. In 7th and 8th grade, so often I tried to hide my thoughts and things in my heart from God, or simply choose to believe he couldn't possibly care. But the truth is, he created our minds and our hearts. He knows all of our thoughts and desires, and as scary as that might sound, it's also kind of awesome too. Because he loves us just as we are and made us who we are on purpose. And his desire is just that we would love him back. You know, he already knows what's in our hearts and our minds, and he's not there to condemn us. He's just there to love us. And his desire is just that we love him back by turning to him fully with all of our thoughts, struggles, anxieties, worries on our minds, with all the desires and hopes and deepest dreams of our hearts, whenever we need to, in prayer, and recognizing that he is always right there with us. And for me, that's what it means to love God with all of your heart and with all of your mind. What do you need to bring to him? What is it that's going on in your life that you just need to for him to step into that storm and say, be still and know that I am God and I am here.